Hello, welcome back to the Care and Conversation studio. We are live at the Care Show London. My son's watching, I think. Yeah, my son Ozzy. Say hello to Ozzy. So, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are and what you do.
Thanks for having me, York. So my name is Jack Owen. I'm the Managing Director of Connect, and we work with care providers and help them increase their occupancy.
Perfect. So, I think we were chatting before, like, what does that mean then? Inquiry management is quite an important part of that. Do you want to talk us through kind of what that looks like?
It's massively important, especially in this sector. So what I always say is no one rings a care home for the sake of it. They've always been through some sort of journey, whether that's an emotional journey because there's feelings of guilt or frustration, they're overwhelmed because of the financial elements, or it could be they're at crisis point. So what we do, what me and my team do, is we will speak to the person who's looking for care, either for themselves or a loved one, and we will give them the warmth, the respect, the empathy and the time that they deserve. It's not just about filling a bed, it's about that person and that family who are looking for the care.
Yeah, I think empathy is so important as that part of the journey, isn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely. And empathy can be built by active listening. So that's a really key thing that we will do in training. So when I do mystery shopping, for example, I'll ring a care home and I might say, oh, I'm looking for care for my mum who's got dementia. And they'll take maybe some details, but then later on they'll say, and what kinds of care does your mum need? So you're showing that you've not listened, and then people just feel dismissed and it raises alarm bells. So what me and my team try and do is actively listen to everyone we speak to and just create that really good first impression, that reassurance. One of my favourite bits of feedback that we receive quite often is, thank you so much, I've spoke to loads of different care homes today and you're the only one who's given me the time. So I love getting feedback like that, and we receive it quite often.
So, and you and your team manage those calls like for the clients?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
So
we work with different care providers. Every care provider's different, every home's different. We will tailor the solution to meet that care provider and their objectives. But we will take the inquiries, whether that's phone, email or live chat, on behalf of that home and of that care provider, and we'll walk them through the process and help them and guide them. One of the key things we do is we will offer them to come and have a look around the home, because that's really what people need to do. They get the wow factor, they get to meet the team, they get to get a sense of the home that they might not get from the website. So for every new care inquiry, we will offer them to come and have a look round. One of the really important things that we do is we prepare the home for the show round. So when we book a show round, we put it in the home's calendar, we let them know who's coming, what time, what they're called, what their situation is, the type of care that they require. And also, if they don't like doing activities, for example, or they're unlikely to take part of activities, what we'll say is they don't like activities but they love the garden, so make sure you tailor the show round. Again, it's all about the person, tailoring it to that person rather than treating everyone with one blanket approach. So it is very tailored, not just to the care provider, but more importantly, the person we're speaking to on the phone.
I've had lots of conversations over the past couple of days with smaller providers who are sort of actively having to look at the private pay market.
Yes.
And the approach is very different. So from a perspective of if you're receiving referrals from local authority, that's one main sort of customer you're dealing with, and then people refer to you, and the process is going to be slightly different.
Yeah.
There might not always be opportunities for show arounds, they might not always have those same privileges that someone that buys privately might be afforded.
Yeah.
So the approach with private paying clients is different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the key things is, regardless if it's self-funded or local authority funded, is the industry standard is 52% of calls that go into care homes go unanswered. Now that's because the people in the care homes are so busy. They're providing care, they're dealing with the operational running. So whether it's self-pay or local authority, the key is you need to answer the phone call in the first place, and make sure you're capturing details, you can follow up, you can give people information. So a lot of people want to just make tentative inquiries. They want to know fees is obviously the most common one, but also things like ratio with staff members to residents. Can you smoke? Can you bring a pet to the care home? Can my mum bring her cat? All those sorts of things. So it's really important you've got someone on the end of the phone who's going to give you the information that you need. We work with various sizes of care home providers. So our smallest one has 2 care homes, and they had a lot of local authority funded residents because of the local council, local authority area, but they really wanted to increase their privately paying residents. And what they were finding is that people were ringing, but they weren't being captured anywhere because it'd be wrote on a post-it, or inquiries come over at the weekend where your core team aren't there. So we're open till 7 p.m. in the evening and weekends. So what they were finding is the calls just were not being captured, and then they were missing those inquiries essentially. But more than that, from a reputational point of view, because this was in quite a sort of rural area, people talk to each other. You need to be able to have that great reputation.
I called that care home and no one called me back.
Yes. I was speaking to someone today and he said he rang a care home and a resident answered, and he said, "Can I speak to the manager please?" And the resident said, "You'll be lucky." And I'm just like, oh my goodness, what kind of impression would that be? And you know what?
And it might not even actually be that bad, because sometimes we've worked in places where we've talked to residents who use negative language, very negative language, to provide positive feedback.
Yes.
They'll go, "Oh, at least that wasn't completely useless." And actually what they mean was that was really good. And so it could be quite hard to make a video out of that, for example.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so you probably don't want your residents answering phone. We once made a video for a big company, which was basically an internal comms film, which was them saying, "Please answer the phone. Please take the details down, and please give it to someone who can call them back, because please, just please." There's a really interesting video, and this has been a problem for a long time in the sector.
That's it. And you know, you guys, and like you've quite rightly said, a lot of people spent a lot of time and money on marketing, so websites, their social media, videos, and that sort of thing. And it's kind of pointless if the click to call action you want people to do, when they do, a call doesn't get answered, or it doesn't get answered well. And like I say, care homes are just so busy at doing what they do best, and that's providing the care and running the operational elements of the home. So
and often the manager isn't the best suited person for that initial interaction, because they're busy and they're stressed, and actually you maybe want to save that person for the right moment when they've got the time to take a breath and make sure they deliver their best version of themselves for that interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the care providers I was speaking to recently said that their activities coordinator, and I've heard this quite a lot, the activities coordinator is brilliant at doing the initial show round, and then when it gets the kind of more serious stuff, such as the assessment, the finances, then the home manager gives that reassurance and goes through the process with them. So I thought, that's quite a nice way to do it. The initial show round is, the activities person, but the home manager then is elevated into a sort of position of authority, I guess, but someone who's going to really help. So
I think that's true. I think you should be looking around your home to identify who would be a good person to do this. It might be an opportunity to give a junior member of staff some more hours, right? To do these things, to fit that in. And I think it can be a really positive outcome for a home, can't it? To have a more junior member of the team involved in that process. Yeah,
definitely. It's about value and recognition then. You're recognising that this person's got skills, and then that all leads into your retention. So it's win-win really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So it's a really interesting sort of uptick in that market at the moment. It's really interesting. So I have one final question for you.
Go on.
If you're a sandwich, what type of sandwich would you be?
I'm just going to think of my favourite sandwich, which is egg mayonnaise.
Okay, fine. That's
boring, to the point.
bit of cress in there?
No, why overcomplicate it? Yeah.
Any, do you, in the mayonnaise, any mustard or anything like
that? No, bit of salt, that'll do me,
Okay, fine. Bread,
you've made me really hungry now. I'm not eating all day.
It's fine. You can go buy a sandwich, but they're about £9,000. So because we are at the Excel in London. So
that's right.
Yeah, we brought a lunch and it was like 20 quid for two sandwiches.
Well, this is we're down south now. You don't get this up in the northwest.
Well, I live down here, so this is normal for us.
You're used to it.
You can normally go to Tesco's get a meal deal for £3.50. You can do that. So anyway, lovely. Thank you for coming into the studio. It's been nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll speak soon.
You too.
We'll be back shortly.